Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Garrett Pizzini. We're going to do a presentation over time management for our second presentation for this class. And I just think it's important to go ahead and stress that I think the key to time management, whether it's for school, for work, or for just your personal life, is to develop an effective work ethic. Um, and this is something very simple. It may take some time to really hone the ability to do so, but providing this foundation is basically the building block of being able to manage your time effectively, appropriately, and leave yourself time to actually get things done successfully. So starting off, I think the very first part of this is, start early. If you know that you have an assignment due, if you know that you have stuff for work, or if you know that you have something due in your personal life, that's stringent on time, then naturally you need to start early. And the concept behind this is, if you start early, you finish early. And the adage of the early bird gets the worm. This certainly rings true here. And in doing so, you're going to be coming across some tasks that are going to be difficult. You're going to come across some hardships at times. And one of those hardships that happen naturally, no matter how well you prepare, is going to be procrastination and interruptions. And procrastination may not be something that everybody suffers from, but I think this day and age that because we're so used to wanting to multitask and to be able to have as much access to as much information as possible, it's easy for us to get overloaded, and it's easy for us to find things in life or things in school or even things at work that might be more important at the time. And it's very keen to not lose focus and ensure that you don't allow procrastination to be your downfall. And furthermore, discussing interruptions. Interruptions are something that are naturally going to happen. Again, with all three of these facets of life, your personal life, work and school, interruptions are just something that happens, and it's something that you just need to be prepared for. You need to understand that in the time of an interruption, say a colleague is asking you questions at work regarding a new project or a new task or a new way we're doing forms. It's good to provide the insight that he or she is asking for. It's good to provide that social interaction, but also to stay diligent with your assignment and to stay diligent with your responsibilities. Ultimately, you're only as good as a part of the team as you're making yourself out to be, and by allowing these interruptions to hinder your work, you're only hurting yourself. Um, Secondly, a way to develop a good time management strategy would be to create a schedule. In creating a schedule, you can do this in various ways. Something that I like to do, I live a pretty busy life. I like to assign days that I get certain tasks done for schoolwork. My daughter is in soccer, and she has soccer practice twice a week. She has cheer 3 times a week, and that only leaves 2 days out of the week that I don't have anything going on with her besides school or anything else. Just her extracurricular activities. And so by planning ahead, I'm allowing myself time during these days to get certain tasks done. Um, Another thing is time allotment. You need to be understanding and prepared of how much time each task is going to take you. And a good rule of thumb is to always calculate that the task will take you longer than what you think it would take you. It's good to go ahead and plan for it taking you longer than you might anticipate. And ultimately, this just sets you up for success. If you give yourself more time than needed and you accomplish the task in a quicker amount of time, then we go right back to developing an effective work ethic and starting early and finishing early. Another way that you can have an effective strategy for time management is to set priorities. Now, these can be simple, these can be priorities that are needed for daily tasks, for weekly tasks, so on. What I like to do is I like to set priorities for the day. If I have classwork that's due, I like to say, well, by this time today, I want to have this assignment done. Or if I'm writing an essay or something like that, I tell myself, okay, by Friday, I want to have the outline, the introduction, the conclusion, and most of the body. There's certain ways you can do it, and at the end of it, it's basically just kind of what works for you. And what also works for me is I like to put the pressing items first on my to-do list. I would much rather worry about items that are more pressing, more daunting, and take more time. That way I'm not rushing last minute, and I'm not basically, up against the wall, so to speak, and really trying to gain my place. Um, and for some people, it might be better for them to get the quicker tasks out of the way first. I know people that this is successful for them. They find themselves able to get inside the workflow by taking on smaller tasks and smaller goals, setting those and achieving them, and working their way towards their larger goal. And it's safe to say that there's nothing wrong with this concept and that strategy of time management. In the end, time management is all about what works for you. And I think so long as each individual out there that's making a conscious decision to create a strategy for time management, that in itself is already the first step of success. So just to recap, in order to have a successful strategy, we need to develop an effective work ethic. We need to create a schedule that works with our own, and we need to set priorities. Talk to you guys soon.